NCERT and has earlier served as faculty at Ravenshaw University, Odisha. Ma'am brings with her Dr. Binja brings with her an rich expertise in educational technology, ICT, philosophy of science, pedagogy, and educational psychology. Her remarkable academic contribution include numerous research papers, book chapters, and she has also co-authored many books reflecting the depth of her scholarship. Beyond research, MAM has been actively engaged in curriculum development and national level initiatives, making significant contribution to the integration of ICT in education. Her research interests are wide ranging from design thinking, immersive technologies, AI, and robotics to exploring the neuroscience of learning and impact of technology on education. We are truly honored to have her with us today. And also, we are joined by Ms. Nidhi Adlakha. She is Senior Academic Consultant at CIT NCERT. Now, I warmly invite Dr. Praveen Bobby Binja, ma'am, to share her insights with all of us. Over to you, ma'am. Now.
We thank you, Dr. Sunita, and very warm welcome to all the participants joined here for this SRG training. And I'm very excited to connect with you all to share my experience in the immersive technology. As we are here to learn about the technologies, and we are daily and in a interval of time. If you will click in your mobile also, you will get some new update about the recent technology, and you exploring all this technology and integrating those technologies in our teaching, learning, and educational practices. So we teacher are exploring that one and trying to integrate in our teaching learning process. So am I audible to all the participants?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, if any issues in the technical or any audio or any issues appears, please let me know so that I can rectify from my end or troubleshoot whatever the possible way to do that one. So, this is about that I'm telling you why we are here. From the last 2 days we have experienced creating digital content using audio, video, and we also understand that mandate of our NEP 2020 and what is the digital initiative the government of India so far taking, and we all teachers and teacher educators and the researchers as well as the state governments and the many agencies working on that implementation of NEPs in our teaching learning process, as well as we are also exploring the possible ways and the maximizing the hardware and software and the whatever the emerging technologies emerging, we are trying to integrate in our teaching learning process. And until and unless we teachers empowered, or until and unless we teacher not get well oriented and not well aware about that technology, either the hardware and software, it's very difficult for us to figure it out the features of the technology, and to same time we need to same time how to integrate that technology in our teaching learning process. So today I'm going to tell you about that emerging immersive technologies, and I think many of us heard about this technology. Somewhere we have seen, somewhere we have experienced, and some schools and some organizations they started integrating those technologies in their educational practices. So though I'm also exploring this technology from the past 2 years. I'm doing that research as well as exploring these technologies and trying to find out the best possible way to integrate this technology in educational practices. So in this today's session, I'm going to tell you about the basic understanding and the conceptual understanding about these technologies, because this is an emerging technology and cutting edge technology, and so many ICT tools are there, and we are used to that one. But this technology that we call this is immersive technology. This is something we need to understand beyond our conventional technology that ICT tools we have. So I will give you the basic fundamental understanding about this technology and how we can repurpose this technology in our teaching learning process and assessment practices. And before going to that one, and I will also orient you about this psychological, philosophical, and the sociological needs of this technology, the immersive technologies in our educational practices. So let me share my presentation just a minute. Is it visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the topic of the discussion of this session is immersive technology for teaching, learning, and assessment. And the term we are using here, the extended reality, and another term is the immersive technology. So we'll figure it out what is immersive technology and what is extended reality. If you see within the bracket in the title, it's mentioned within the bracket is written AR, VR, and virtual labs, and also the word came MR also, and so many new terms we will get to know about all this immersive technology in coming month, or you can say in coming days. So we will discuss about all these things. This is the session outline of today's presentation. We will try to understand the concept and the technologies. Yes, we are using many technologies, we are adapted many technologies, but until and unless you will not understand the fundamental concept of integrating that technology, it's very difficult for us to integrate and apply technology in particular or a specific topic or activities. Then you will also try to understand in this and the spectrum of reality and virtuality continuum. This spectrum we need to understand here. I will explain you one by one here. Then another third point is the elements of reality, and then the immersive technology, examples of this immersive technology. Then how we will use these immersive technologies in our assessment part. After teaching and learning, we must do the assessment part. So how this immersive technology is going to assist or facilitate or support us in our assessment process. Then last point we will discuss about the challenges and consideration. What are the future consideration? What are the scopes and what may be the challenges we may face during integrating or applying this technology in our educational practices? So first focus on the spectrum of reality and the virtual continuum. So here you can see in this slide there is a real world and something I have pointed out in a yellow background: augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality, and the virtual world. So this is actually we say this one as a spectrum of the reality. So what is reality and what is augmented reality and what is the virtual reality? What we call that reality something different from our real world.
Ma'am,
So we need to.
ma'am, sorry to interrupt you. Ma'am, your
Yes.
slide is not changing, ma'am.
Okay. I have changed. The session outline is visible.
Yes, ma'am, it's with the screen is there, but it's not now. It's changed to next. Yes, now we are on third. Yes, now it's changed.
Is visible now.
Yes, yes.
The first point we are discussing here, the spectrum of reality. So what is the reality and what is the virtuality? We need to understand because now we are living in a virtual world, or you can say the physical world, or you can say the real world. In this real world or physical world, we are experiencing many things: the day, night, temperature, and the color, texture, shape, everything you are experiencing in this physical world. The next is virtuality. We can say this virtuality, imaginary world. So, can an imaginary world be created, and can what is the need of creating that imaginary world, and how this imaginary world or the virtual world created, and what is the need of this virtual world in this art teaching learning process? What is the significance of this virtual world, or we can say a synthetic real world, or we can say this alternate to this physical reality? Means that we are creating the alternate reality, or we can say alternate virtual world or synthetic world. The many terminologies we are using here. So this synthetic environment, or we can say synthetic world. So what is the need of creating that one? What is the concept of that one? So this is actually the spectrum of that reality. Here we can say in yellow box, augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality, and virtual world is there. And again, you can see here that real world, the physical environment we experience every day is mentioned. So one by one, we will try to understand this thing. So
Ma'am,
just
please, sorry, ma'am, again interrupting you. Ma'am, please make it full screen and put it on slideshow, ma'am.
it's okay now.
Uh,
Is it visible now?
it's visible, ma'am. The fourth slide is visible.
Yeah, this is a fourth
Can
slide.
it be full screen, ma'am?
It's a full screen only.
Full screen. Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Is it now visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So just try to read this graphics. You can easily figure it out what is the topic we are discussing here. In this green arrow, you can see one side there is a real environment and another side there is a virtual environment. And here you can see the physical environment. Again, we are creating some synthetic environment very close to real. And here you can say augmented reality, mixed reality, augmented virtuality, and virtuality. So here we are using a technology and we are creating a synthetic real environment or synthetic real world, or we can say alternate reality that alternate to this physical reality. So this dotted box is there, and this one is there. This shows that we are creating a different world where we are putting the content, educational experience content in that environment. This I'm working on. Zoom हो गया है. Okay, sorry, there is technical problems. We are trying to figure it out. Okay. So overall, you can say here the word is there, extended reality is there. Then during this presentation, you will come to know at the end that what is XR and what I am talking about here. Because this is a very complex technology, sometimes we are unable to understand it and yes, we heard about that term extended reality. Next, now we come to that immersive technology. The two terms in the title mentioned immersive technology as well as the extended reality. So there is nothing confusion about that immersive technology and extended reality. Immersive technology is something we call every day that technology is emerging, and that emerging technology makes us feel us psychologically as well as the physically, that you become the part of that virtual environment, or you can say synthetic environment. So that immersion, physically or mentally, when we immerse on that environment, that technology is called immersive technology. And this immersive technology includes that extended reality, virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, and the 360-degree video and simulation. So here the extended reality, we can also say this one XR. This is an umbrella term that encompasses all the immersive technology that blends physical as well as the virtual world. And within this extended reality, another word we are using, the virtual reality. So this is virtual reality, the subset of the extended reality, that the content that or we can say the synthetic environment can be experienced by using a headset. You can see here, this is a head mounted device. So this with the help of this headset, we can create some reality environment and we experience that reality environment. Next, we come to the augmented reality. The augmented reality, I think many of us are using the
Ma'am,
augmented
the
reality.
slides are not changing, ma'am. It's stuck on XR wala slide.
Is it just Dr. Sunita? Let me figure it out where the problem, because I'm able to see this one, but now it's changing. Is it visible now? Fifth slide. Fifth slide is visible. Dr. Sunita.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible now.
Okay. So augmented reality, this is AR. I will give a very simple example of AR. Every day we are using this AR technology in our day-to-day life. So to understand this concept of AR is just think about a QR code, or we can think about a mirror. Every day you are seeing yourself. So in the mirror, when you see yourself or see your image, that half of you are in that your image is in the mirror, and half of you are in the physical world. So you are reflecting your appearance in the mirror, and that shows that half of your image in that mirror and half of you are in the physical world. So this is the two environment you are reflecting your appearance. So this is a simple example of your AR, and in technology concept you are reaching that QR code, and every we are adapted to use this augmented reality or AR. And the simple example is your QR code. And the second example of augmented reality, that in many e-commerce site or many app you are using, like the Zomato, Swiggy, or Amazon e-commerce site is there, or Meesho, or Flipkart. There, whenever you are buying any object, that the direction come that overlay this one in your room or how it's look like. So you overlay your camera and see that how this computer generated image look like, how it will look in your home or room or wherever you want to display. So this is the example of the augmented reality that says overlay digital information into the real world, often through smartphone, cameras, or special glasses. So later on, we will figure it out how this augmented reality can be integrated in our education. Then we come to the mixed reality. This combines virtual reality as well as augmented reality. So is allow digital and the physical object to interact, like that we are in the physical world. You directly interact with the digital content or digital object. This is mixed reality. And the last one is 360 degrees videos and simulation that we are using in the virtual lab. So in this presentation, you will learn about what is virtual lab. There we will see how this 360-degree videos and simulation can be used. So this is just basic information about this immersive technology. Now come to that educational theoretical understanding of this technology. This is very important for us because we all are associated with the teaching learning process. So we are using multiple theories like psychological theories, then you can say sociological theories and philosophy, and lot of things we are dealing in our teaching learning process. So considering that one, how this technology is aligned, we need to understand on that basis that what is the philosophy and what is the theory behind this technology, immersive technology, or we can say this XR technology. So the basic theoretical and practical concept. Just a second, hold on. For this technical glitches that we need to manage. Every one of us are facing these issues, and this is the limitation of our technology. So coming to the point, what we need to understand the theoretical basis of this technology. because this technology, normally all this technology we'll see in our day-to-day life is coming more and less repurposed or purposed for that education. So all of these technologies hardly they meant for education, but education community trying to repurpose this technology in our teaching, learning, and assessment practices. So when we are integrating or accepting this technology, we need to understand the theoretical and the practical basis of this technology. And I'm going to tell you in this slide what is the practical basis of this immersive technology and we can say extended reality. So there is a basic theoretical and practical concept in the visual aspect of immersive environment and the virtual environment. So what is immersive environment? Immersive environments are physically created space that replicate or extend the reality, engaging multiple scenes and enabling interaction. So here, immersive environment is like that. You are now in your workplace, maybe in your office, maybe in your school, maybe in your lab where you are at, from where you are attending this training program. So within your lab or the room you are now attending this program, that environment is a physical environment. In that physical environment you are interacting with the every object. Maybe in your lab, chair is there, table is there, your systems are there, your mouse is there, mobile phone is there. So with every object you are interacting with that one. So while we interacting with that object, somehow we are immersed on that environment. So when we talk about similar kind of environment we are planning to create where it extending the physical environment. That physical environment, when we extend that, become another reality. And that reality where the likewise we are interacting in the physical world, similar way you can interact on that virtual world. So for that engagement or interaction, multiple sense organs we use to interact with the digital object. Very simple, that way you are interacting with the physical object, the same way we'll interact with that virtual environment with your sense organs. So, what is the foundational theory behind this immersive technology? So, this is rooted in the psychology and the cognitive science, that is immersion. So, this psychology and the cognitive sciences, that I will just cite one example before coming to the sub points. When we see the magic, many of us still love watching that magic shows and will participate in the magic activities and all. So what is the magic there? This is nothing, that it is an illusion. So it tricks our sense organs and make us feel that is not magic, that is the real, but that is actually the tricking our sense organs. And that sense organs determined by the presence of our physical as well as the mind. So here the first point is that presence is there. That is the psychological state of being there. So when we do any activities in this virtual environment, you will feel like that you are there in that environment, and the way you are interacting in the physical world, same way you will interact in the virtual world. And how is it possible? This is nothing, just a presence of mind, that is the psychological state of being there. Now the second point is immersion, the degree of sensory involvement. So how we get immersed, like that in education we say that more you will participate, more you will learn. So participation comes when we either we touch, we smell, we play, or we can hear, we can observe. So our sense organs involve on that activities. So when our sense organs involved in any particular activity, we feel that we become the part of that activities. So that is immersion. And the same thing in the virtual environment, your sense organs will be involved to interact with the digital object. So when you will involve in that digital activity in the virtual environment, so that create an interactivity where users, maybe you or students or anybody, when we interact with the object, immediately we get the feedback. Likewise, we get feedback in the physical environment. Suppose you are sitting in your room and something abstraction come to your sight, or in your that something came to uh, disturbing your sitting area. So immediately you will respond to that stimulus. Suppose light is off, then immediately we'll go and figure it out why that light is disconnected, and you will go and check the switch, either electricity is there or not, any issues are there or not. So this is the way you are interacting with any object. So likewise, also you will interact in the virtual environment. Then how this virtual environment make us feel like a real? The reason behind the visual aspect, and here also there is the neuroscience as well as the psychology is there, and even biology is there. So this is very important to understand how is this possible. See, we have a five sense organs, and out of these five sense organs, eye is the most powerful sense organs. And the eye, if you see, it take a fraction of second to capture the stimulus. The stimulus can be a light, can be a sound, can be a shape, that can be a color or distance, how far, how near it is. So this eye is able to capture the stimulus from the surroundings within a fraction of second. So this is visual aspect. How well our eye is capturing the stimulus. Once this eye captures the stimulus, immediately it goes to the information processing unit and is processed and make us convinced this is actually happening, and you become being there or not being there. So just tricking our eyesight and tricking our mind that you are there or not. So when you become your eye trick you and you become the part of that environment, you accepted that environment, you feel that yes, I got immersed on that environment. And if you are unable to process that visuals, then definitely you will say no, 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 this is not a real. Then when you perceive this kind of statement, then immersion stopped there. And this idea of this visual aspect considered in this immersive technology. So you can say realism is achieved through lighting, shading, perspective, depth, cue, and high quality texture. Then forms of environment like that. Now we have in a physical environment is 360. We cannot say this is a 360. This is almost 180 or 155 plus degree, because you can see the object when you are rotating your head to get in visuals. It take I think 155 plus degree, not 180 degree. So this much visibility we can see in physical world. But in the case of virtual degree, you can see your backside also, your front side, left, right. In 360 mode, you can experience that virtual environment. Next, come to this concept and the technologies. When we discuss about this basis of the virtual environment or virtual reality. Now, how this technology can be conceptualized. This flowchart is very much important not only for this immersive technology to understand. This concept is applicable to all technologies when we are integrating in our educational practices. So here we can say we can see here a person is there and another is the interface is there and the virtual world is there. So person is the here, action is there, action based on that our sense organs. How we are sensing the stimulus and how we are perceiving the stimulus. Here the concept come that operant conditioning, or we can say that classical conditioning, that in psychology learning theories are there. So how well the stimulus and response align here. Better will be the stimulus, better will be the response. And that is possible by our sense organ, how it's perceiving from that environment. So once we perceive stimulus from the environment, our sense organ respond to that one. That response is nothing, is an action. Then that action is well influenced by the interface. That interface is nothing, is a technology. Like that, we are now interacting with each other. I'm here in the sitting in the Delhi, and you are now sitting in your own place. So how we are interacting with each other, and we are interacting with this interface. Now we have an interface of Zoom software is there, and your hardware devices are there. So we are now interacting with that interface, that is technology, and now we are able to hear and we can see each other. We cannot touch to each other. The two sense organs involved here, and partially your touch. You are touching your system and you are trying to locate whatever you are need during this presentation or in this session. So that action here, partially we are using the touch, that is hepatic, and visual, that is our eye, and the audio, that is our ear. So these three sense organs involved in this action, and these sense organs actually interacting with this interface. And after this interacting with the interface, you are entering in this environment, because the things I'm presenting you, this is a computer generated content. This PowerPoint is a computer generated graphics or text or images or audio or video or infographics. Whatever we are creating with the digital technologies, we are presenting here. And while we are presenting, we are creating an interface. And that content may be making you partially immersion or fully immersion and letting you to interact. And this is actually the virtual world. And in general, in a conventional technology, you can see either we are using the mic, or we can say interactive board or display board, computer, laptop, mobile, any technologies we are using. Partially, we are getting immersed. Let me cite you example. Nowadays, we are using that mobile phone and watching some videos, reels, and any social media. Partially get immersed on that content, not fully, because physically we are present in the physical world, and partially we are immersed with that content. And while immersion, we are interacting with that digital content. So this is the virtual world. And again, once we interact with that computer generated simulated content, again we back to our decision making, and this decision making change our perception, and this perception actually direct our learnings. And this is the way we are using technologies in our daily life as well as in educational practices. So this interface is very much important to change our perception, to facilitate our sense organs, or to facilitate our teaching learning process, and that actually helping us to change our or enhance our perception, and this way technology helping us. Now, how this virtual world create a world. This virtual world, this physical world, we have so many things naturally existing objects are there, some man-made objects are there, and we are here to play a role. We are the actors, we are the characters. But how this virtual world is created, and where the characters, from where the characters comes, and who are those characters or actors, how we can interact this virtual world. So this is the basic fundamental keywords, and we can say terminology we use while we create a immersive world, or we can say the virtual world. These are the technical point we need to consider when we create the immersive world, or when we use or apply or integrate this immersive technology in our practices. So this computer graphics modeling very much important to create lifelike visuals through 3D and 3D modelings, 2D and 3D modelings using mathematical algorithm to generate images. So many of us have seen that this 1D, 2D, and 3D graphics, they differ from each other. In your mobile nowadays, you can see some 3D graphics also and some 2D graphics also. Earlier, we have a 1D. So what is the fundamental behind that graphics? That is nothing. That is mathematical algorithms are there to generate that 3D object. Now animation, that animation bring virtual character and objects to life and motion and behavior. So animation is something animal character orchestrated character, that in that character we are trying to bring some motion. Animals like features like movement, that blinking of eye, running, jumping, feeling, that motion we are creating in a computer generated graphics. Then character design with the realistic movement and expression, just like a cartoon we are creating, and that cartoon having some movement is there, and realistic expression and feelings are there. So like that also we create the same thing in the virtual world. Then creation like that, you have an ecosystem in the school, in your lab, or in your surrounding. Virtual world also having their own interactive ecosystem, and in that interactive ecosystem we can interact with any digital object, we can manipulate, we can learn, we can touch, we can use that one according to the need basis. Then interactivity is when once we entered in that virtual world, we interact with the characters, actors, object, and same time that objects, digitally created objects, will respond back to you. So that shows that how well we are engaged and how this help us in our learning and make it more effective. So now I would like to get some question from the participant, Dr. Sunita. Till now, can I get some question from the participants?
Yes, ma'am. We can have some question answer round now. So, participants, if you have any query regarding the fundamental concept that ma'am has discussed, so you can raise your hand, or if you want to speak, we can allow you to turn on your mic also, or you can write in the chat box also.
Because after that, after your question, it will easier for me to explain the next level of creating a virtual world.
There is one question by participant about the metaverse.
Okay. So that metaverse answer we will better will discuss at the end of the session, because half of the story still we need to explore. Okay, fine. Metaverse is the that universe is there, parallel world we are also creating, like that physical world we have, and we will create another physical world, that physical world with the virtual world. But how we will create that virtual world and the metaverse, we can say, well, that is also a parallel world, or we can say a virtual world. Remember that world, like that we have this earth is there and this universe is there. Every physical object, either the man-made, either the naturally existing, or anyway is existing in our nature. The similar kind of world, or we can say alternate world, we are creating with the help of the technology. So how you will create that alternate real world? And that alternate world is created with your computer graphics programming. Then that's all. Then after creating that virtual world, or you can say the metaverse, how you will explore that world, how you will reach to that world, how the world looks like, that fundamental concept. I think one question, with Dr. Vijaya or Miss Vijaya, she wanted to ask me the question. She raised her hand. Dr. Sunita,
Yes, yes,
one
Vijaya
participant
ma'am,
raised.
you can ask
Yes,
your question.
as ma'am, I have one. See, this augmented reality means what we have created by using technology. That is what the augmented reality. Am I audible, ma'am?
Vijay ma'am, yeah, Vijay
Yeah,
ma'am, I got your
yeah,
question. The
yeah.
point is that AR, VR, and that MR or XR, these are the end product we are using.
So if we have taken a
The
picture, will
technologies
it be
we are actually,
augmented reality?
huh?
We have taken a
Your voice is breaking.
we have taken a picture of reality. Will it be augmented
Hmm.
reality?
Yes.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Vijay ma'am, can you type your question in the chat? Your voice is breaking
Yes,
actually.
yes. If we have taken a picture,
The meantime, any other participant would like to ask?
See, let me clear one point here. I just given a very brief or very basic information about what are the immersive technologies and examples of your immersive technology, AR, VR, and your MR or virtual labs. Fine. So these are the end product and you can say application we are using in our education. And after this discussion, I'm going to tell you how, what are the consideration and how we can develop that one, not we can. This is a expert level development. So how this virtual world is created, who are they actually creating that world, what is the consideration, what are the fundamental concept to create that virtual world. So till now we have just, I have told you about that, what are these technologies. Is it clear? This is the physical world. Now we'll discuss about how that virtual world can be created, what are the consideration of creating that virtual world. Got it? Yes. Now Narendra sir and Pavanjit sir raise their hand, you can ask me the question.
Yes, Pavanjit sir, we can take question from you now.
Ma'am, what are the hardware and software requirements for the VR and how much time it will take to create a 5 minutes VR content?
Okay, I will come to your point in the next presentation. Yeah, I will discuss this thing. Next, Narendra Kumar sir. Narendra sir,
Hello, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
good
Actually, I
morning.
want to know that is there any method by which we can do the AR VR online? Because we have to
Sir,
be
you,
physically.
hmm.
Hello. We have to.
Yes, sir, yes.
Uh, can any method by which we can show the AR VR by online? Is there any method?
Okay, sir, in coming slides, you will get to know about all these things, sir. Okay, now please text your questions in the chat box. Next, we will come to the development part and what is the consideration of this virtual world, how we are creating that virtual world. Like that, when you are planning your lesson and you are planning your teaching learning material. So, what are the basic things you consider when you are planning for your teaching learning material? You figure it out what kind of TLM you are going to use, maybe with paper based, maybe any model. Okay, so that you are deciding that one based on the topic. Is it clear? So here also, when we deciding any content, what are the elements we need to consider while creating a virtual world. Like that you are planning for a home, you are wanting to construct a home. That home should be a 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, or it's a bungalow, or it's a flat, or it's a mud house, or your concrete house. So everything you are planning to create a home environment. For creating a home environment, so many consideration is there. Basic fundamental is that architecture, what are the raw materials required, and once your home is constructed, then you go for that decoration of your home, interior designing of your home. Once it is done, you are going to procure or purchase some uh, room specific items, like that the bedroom, then what are the things you need for your bedroom, hall for what are the things you need for your hall, kitchen, likewise. So similar kind we need to consider while we are developing a virtual world. That I'm going to tell you in very brief, that what are the elements we need to consider while creating this reality environment, or we can say the virtual reality environment. The slide is visible, Dr. Sia?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So when we design a virtual world, or we can say alternate reality, there are the 5 elements we need to consider. The element one is the virtual environment, element two is virtual presence, element three is sensory feedback, element four is interactivity, and element five is perspective. All these elements make that environment real. That is the virtually real, but not a physically real, but virtually real. So one by one, I will explain the content, that is elements of reality. First, reality is virtual environment. So likewise, in your home, when you plan for a bedroom, or you plan for a hall or the dining hall, you associate every object to the concept of hall or bedroom. Suppose your dining hall is there, definitely you will keep a dining table, chair, and that you will create a space for putting your utensil or whatever that object you require for the dining hall. And suppose you are planning for a bedroom, the bedroom must have a bed or a almirah or dressing table, whatever the object required for the bedroom, you will decide. Likewise, when we'll create a virtual environment, we need to describe the object within the simulation, means within that computer generated images or simulated environment, that rules as well as relationship that govern this object. Like a dining table is there, so dining table govern the environment of the dining hall. Okay, likewise in the virtual world, every object created, that object created with the graphics and computer generated object created, that governs the environment of that virtual world. Then determined by its components, sorry, content, that is object and character. Likewise in your dining table, table is there, and your study table and dining table is there. Both are tables, but how you are determining the role of dining table, table in a dining hall and table in a study room. So the object and character, likewise, we are defining our physical world. Similar way, we need to define in our virtual world. Then display through various modality. This modality is very much important because that object we are going to touch, we are going to feel, we are going to perceive that one. And in this virtual world, we can use maximum three sense organs. We cannot smell, we cannot taste. So we can use three sense organ, that is visual, oral, and hepatic. Visual is your vision, hearing, and the touch. So these three sense organs we can involve in our virtual world. But in physical world, we are using our five sense organs. Then fourth point is like real object properties such as shape, weight, color, texture, density, and temperature. Yes, in the physical world, likewise we have color of your wall, size of your dining table, weight of your dining table, texture of that one. So similar way, we need to create that virtual environment in such a way where the shape will be there, weight, color, texture, density, everything will be there. Then how you will group that object in that virtual environment. That is, the topology is there, object is there, intermediaries are there, and user interface element. These categories and these four objects will determine you how you will interact in that virtual environment, and this make you feel immersed. That's why we are calling this as immersive technology. Now come to the virtual presence. Yes, now you are virtually present and physically also present. You can hear me because of my virtual presence. I can hear you because of your virtual presence. So this is a state of mind that I told you in the very beginning. The virtual presence is a psychological state of mind. We are present here partially, or you can say partially we are immersed. The feeling of actually being in an environment, completely psychological state, or some via physical medium. That physical medium is that device we are using. That physical virtual presence. I remember when our school days, our teachers used to tell that physically you are present, mentally you are absent. But mentally we are not absent, we are in our imaginary world, and that imaginary world is virtual world. Okay, so take it that example here, that physical virtual presence is presenting the virtual world to the user with synthesis of stimuli to one or more senses in response to user position and action. Synthetic stimuli often drawn out from real world to decrease mental presence in the real world. Yes, once we are using that any digital content in mobile or laptop or any desktop, sometimes we are disconnected from that physical stimulus. Suppose we are listening to me and someone came to your room and calling you sir, sir, but you are not responding to that person physically came to your room. You are listening to me. So that shows that mentally we are present in this virtual world rather than physical world. So this is the disconnection, and this connection or decreased mental presence because of the graphics I told you in the beginning. User move and visual, audio, hepatic stimuli also change and the virtual scene also move. So once you interact with a digital object, will become the part of that environment. So mental presence that depend upon the goal application of virtual reality by degree of intensity. And of course, realistic display, better will be the light, sound, and touch effect, better we will present on that environment. Then sensory feedback that suppose light is very strong in your room, immediately your eye or hand will respond to protect your eye, or your eye will blink accordingly. So same ways we can do in the virtual world. Realistic system provide direct sensory feedback to user according to their physical environment. Most feedback is provided with visual information and haptic information, automatically measure the position and orientation of object in the real environment. Likewise, we are sitting in the physical environment. Our position is not governed by any object in this your physical room, but this is possible in the virtual environment. Your position, your movement, your interacting with the object will be governed by that virtual environment. Automatically, it will guide you your position. Now, interactivity and perspective. Yes, our interaction with the object change our perception. The way we interact with the object, it will also affect our perception. So, in the virtual world, we are able to interact with any computer generated object, and that object interaction with the object governs our perspective. And then while working with the same environment, it is necessary to follow activities like pose, gesture, action, gaze, direction, and speed. Like that now you are moving your head, you are blinking your eye, adjusting your sitting. So everything you are doing in the physical environment, same ways you can do in this virtual world also. Then perspective can use several options to change user perception of the virtual environment. Watching a movie, after watching a movie or any film, at least for half an hour or 1 hour, you are or and we are like immersed on that story itself. It takes some time to come to the real environment, and still and that our mind govern us that that story was can be a real. Okay, this happened in my real life. No, no, this is not a real, this is fictional. This type of analogy we do after watching a movie or film. So just imagine when we become the part of that virtual environment, how we'll change our perception. Then it involves viewers through avatar eyes, view from the immediate vicinity of the relevant activity. Views involve looking from the entirely independent location. So this is the important part we need to understand as a part of as associated with the education, because perception very much important. Then here the human perception, how human perception and that cognitive can be enhanced. Motor abilities is there, and your central nervous system involved in this one. So motor abilities, that is your three sense organs is there: hepatic, visual, and oral. And cognitive abilities, that is central nervous system, allow to analysis information from the environment and action planning according to the current task goal. The decision making, how we are perceiving, that is done by the central nervous system. This is important. That question asked by one sir. So, what are the hardware technologies and what are the software technologies? And here the question can be answered. So, this is important, sir, because without any technologies, very difficult to experience this virtual or immersive environment. So display technologies are nothing; these are the hardwares, and how these hardwares are, designed, and how these hardwares are developed for experiencing this immersive and virtual content. So display refers to any method of presenting information to human. That information is nothing, it's a 3D graphics to human senses, and in this context, sight, hearing, and touch frequently used to transmit synthetic stimuli to virtual reality. And this is basically with the help of your head mounted device, that is called headset, VR headset. Your mobile also, AR app is very much important. Now AR glasses is there, and this experience of virtual reality based on the user perception of the world. This point is important for the developer, how they are developing the virtual world. Then physical perception of the world, virtual world is based on computer display. Better the graphics, better will be the perception. Then last point is important. The virtual reality system tricks the sense. How this tricking the sense? See, we can see 25 frame per second. Our normal eye can see only 25 frame per second. But when we come to the virtual world, the object and the graphics you see in that virtual world, that is more than 90 frame per second. and that actually tricks our sense organs and make our sense organs to understand this is real, and in this way we become immersed on that virtual world. So now come to that technology called augmented reality, and I hope you, all the participants understood about that elements of reality. That is the development part. Now that application part, we teacher are here to apply the technology or integrate the technology rather than development. But yes, somehow we are associated with education, and we need to develop our content also, because this is a collaborative effort. You can also contribute as a academics or content expert. So AR, that is augmented reality, is a superimposition of computer generated perceptual information over the existing physical surroundings, or AR or augmented reality. You can see one in the graphics, one boy is there entering physical world, entering from the physical world to the virtual world. So this is the 50-50, we can say, half of the content in the physical world, half of the content in the digital world. And this content can be experienced by using some augmented reality devices. Your mobile phone is there, your tablet is there. You need to install AR based application or app, or now we have AR glasses is there, like that spec we are wearing, like that glass you can get in market is available. By wearing that glass you can experience that AR. Then headsets are also available, and e-Pathshala AR app by NCERT, but now we are under the process of upgrading this app. And another example is the Sky View and Air Lupa. You can download in your mobile and you can see how this augmented reality content look like. And now come to that educational purpose. This is important for us. Why we should integrate this AR in our teaching learning process? What is the significance of using this AR in our daily educational practices? So this shared experience, technology we use for creating, connecting, collaborating, and yes, curating. So this is not only for one person creating content and keeping with him, we are also collaborating with each other. So once you are creating your content, you are collaborating with this technology. So AR can create shared experience for students, allowing them to collaborate on projects, solve problems together, and learn from each other in a more engaging way. And this interactive game, this digital objects allow user to interact with each other, and they can play games. Like there's so many games we can see available in the market. You can download and you can play, like that puzzles are there, and some mage activities are there. So learner can download and you can download and engage the students. Virtual too, it's very difficult for us to visit Amazon rainforest, a tropical rainforest, and I cannot go to the Andaman and Nicobar and see the barren islands or some volcano. So that can be done by using this virtual tour, and the AR is facilitating that tour, and that tour is very close to real. Then accessibility and inclusivity, that NEP talks about inclusivity and equitable use of technology. So this is important for all teachers, all of us, because we cannot bring lot of abstract and complex concept in classroom. With the help of digital content, or we can say the graphics, we can simplify the complex and abstract concept and bring it to our classroom with the help of this AR technology. So this is an example of NCRT Pathshala AR app. So we are under the process of upgrading this app, and very soon we will come out with this AR app, and you can download in your mobile and tablet, and you can use the various content of that one. And this is the important question raised by one of the participants: what is virtual reality and how we can use that one, and how we can explore the VR content? So, very simple definition of this virtual reality: this is a computer science. I told in the very beginning the fundamentals of this technology, having some behavioral science and some psychology, some philosophy and sociologies are there, and some computer science also involved here. So this is a computer science behavior interface to stimulate in the virtual world that a behavior of 3D entities, that is the 3D graphics, and we interacting with the graphics only. in the real time and with each other, and that is the pseudo natural immersion via sensory motor channel. So sensory motor channel is the hepatic, visual, and oral. Now these are the headsets available in the market, the virtual reality hardware. Without this hardware, you cannot explore the virtual world. You cannot enter the world of virtuality. You cannot feel the immersion, or we talk about when we are talking about the immersive technology. So that hardware asks, this is the headsets are there, controllers are there, tracking system is there. With the headset, with the help of headset, we can use our eyesight as well as your ear. And with the help of controller, you can touch the digital object and you can interact with the entities of virtual world. So this headset available in the market. I think many schools also procure this hardware headsets and they are using in their schools also. So why we use this virtual reality in education? What is the features of this virtual reality? This is immersive in nature, interactive in nature, and in multisensory involved while exploring the virtual world. So these are the features of virtual world and that can be integrated in our teaching learning process. Then very simple and very basic things we need to know why and what are these headsets. These headsets are different from our normal AR glasses, because AR glasses will let you 50% in the physical world, 50% in your virtual world. But this headset let you to the entirely virtual world. Because of this, that hardware, that is the high resolution display, then glasses are there, then wide field of view that I told about the 360 degrees, and the agronomics, that extended period you can use. They are the features of the VR headset, and without this VR headset, you cannot explore the virtual world. Now, why in education? Why VR in education? Enhance spatial understanding. Now, this VR technologies is mostly using in this medical science and tourism. So why not in education? We should also use this one in our teaching learning process. So why and how we will use this one to visualizing complex concept. For example, we have a heart, but we haven't seen our heart. We have a brain, we haven't seen our brain. And we are teaching the students about all this human anatomy. And the students are unable to understand that, the abstract and the complex concept. So with the help of this graphical presentation and 3D graphics, we can help the student to enhance their learning. Then, spatial reasoning, provide opportunity for students to develop spatial reasoning skill, like that, architecture, engineering, and design. Then you're improving memory and the recall or retention power. So retention is important because once we see better, we'll remember. Otherwise, listening and just touching and smelling, it take time to make it as a long term memory. So by in short time, 2 and 3 minutes of this virtual tour, it will help the student to retain all the realities or the concept. Because I told you in the very beginning that I take minimum time to capture the stimulus. And in that synthetic world, the eye is capturing so many abstract and complex concepts in a fraction of second. And that create a memorable learning experience. Now, another term we are using here, the mixed reality. In the graphics, you can see students exploring the virtual solar system. So in that solar system, she is interacting with every planet with the help of the headset. The mixed reality, in the very beginning, I told you the mixing the AR and VR. So we know that every interval of time, maybe 1 month or 1 week or in a day, the new technologies are emerging. In the title of this session was written XR, AR, and VR. But another term I'm introducing here, MR. This is nothing that is the enhancement, or you can say advancement in the hardware technology as well as the your graphics or the computer programming. And this programming and the graphics enhancement also bring a new reality, also the new advancement in the reality environment. The mixed reality is nothing the blending of AR and VR, and this also give a interactive experiences. The characteristics of this mixed reality, you can see one student is doing the lab activities wearing the headset. There is no chemicals, there is nothing. When a microscope is there in hand, nothing is there. And that is not like nothing is there in hand, but she is seeing everything in a virtual environment with the help of this headset. So that is the real-time instruction, spatial awareness, objective persistence, and collaboration. Collaboration means that now we are collaborated with through the Zoom. The student can also collaborate with this MR technology from any place, anywhere. Now, mixed reality in education, why this is important, it enhance engagement, it provide experiential learning, then personalized learning and accessibility. And personal learning, individualized learning is very much important because some students are slow learners, some are gifted, some are average learners. So need basis, the students having any learning difficulties is there that can be personalized, and this technology providing that personalized learning facility. Accessibility, that means many students having the locomotor disability or maybe some different learning style, so that can be easily met with the help of this MR technology. And this is 360-degree immersion, and this 360-degree immersion or 360-degree technology and concept used for creating virtual lab. So one of my fellow colleague, Nidhi Adlakha, will explain you about this application of 360-degree technology. With the help of this, we are creating virtual lab, and this lab is also a realistic, interactive, and engaging. And this is a one another. You can see the graphics. The virtual lab is there, and with the help of this 360-degree, we can explore the virtual lab used for the virtual field trip, career exploration, science and laboratory simulation, and historical reenactment. Then how is this really benefited? Increase engagement, improve retention, personalized learning, and of course enhance collaboration, because we know individual as well as group learning facilitate students better. Now the virtual lab key features is there. So Dr. Sunita,
Yes, ma'am. Th- Thank you so much, ma'am, for
can
this
we
insightful. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
can we take one or
you-
two questions, and after that we will hand over to Nidhi, and she will
yes,
present about
yes,
the virtual lab.
yes, definitely, ma'am. So I ask audience participants, kindly raise your hand if you have any question regarding immersive technology. Ma'am can answer you. There is one question, ma'am, I can read out. How to overcome the practical
Yes.
challenges in implementing, I'm repeating again, ma'am, how to
Uh,
overcome the practical challenges in implementing immersive technology in school with limited resources.
Okay, this is a very valid question. So I think this slide is visible.
Good morning, ma'am.
The slide is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, madam. Slide is
Yes.
not visible, ma'am. I am looking on Dr. Sunita Galia, madam only. I am not visual. Now I am visualizing virtual labs. So, my question regarding this virtual lab is, how can we use this concern to experiments in real-time laboratory? That is, we can minimize the safety issues concerned to chemistry experiments and biology experiments, I think so. Then how it is possible to train the faculties at block level, district level, block level, and regional, so that we can take it to the grassroots, and where there is no availability of lab, or where there is faculty strength is less. how we can utilize this? What are all the challenges in using virtual labs?
Yes, so very rightly you have the question, and this is a very concerning part. And I have displayed, very advanced level and cutting edge level of technology, this, the headset and your, mobile device and all. So we are struggling with basic ICT infrastructure, computer and laptop in our school. Of course, there is a challenges and limitation in our schools and our education system integrating and bringing that infrastructure in the classroom. uh, Technical consideration are here. In that presentation you can see every technology having their own limitation. The one challenge is, yes, question you have asked, the one challenges of PPT is visible, Dr. Sunita?
Ma'am, your screen PPT is not there on ma'am.
It's there, you can see.
Uh,
Is there now visible?
no, ma'am. Some participant's screen is coming there, so not your slide is not
Okay.
there.
So, what are the challenges and consideration of this technology? Is the cost of hardware and software. One of the participant asked me, what is the cost of the hardware, and what are the time, time taken to develop one content. Cost of this hardware is too high. If you will procure a at least MR level headset, it costs 50,000 per headset. And apart from that, now come to the content. One VR content for 2 to 5 minutes, the VR content, or you can say the virtual world content, it take minimum 1 month to develop. And the developing is not a single-handed. The experts from that content area, the programmer, the graphics designer, and like 3 or 4 kind of expert required for developing the content, and continuous effort and collaborative effort is take 1 month to create 2 to 5 minutes VR content or your 3D graphics. Okay, so this is the cost and that time taking for developing this VR or virtual world. And the second thing that Shrikant sir, I think you got the question in the very beginning that Shwan sir asked the question. And the teacher training is you all are here to get trained. So we are here virtually interacting with each other. But how well effectively we can integrate in our 40 minutes class? We have a lab, we have a theory classes, we have a lot of school activities we need to do apart from the teaching learning. So the teacher training is also very challenging for us, because so accepting and adapting and do troubleshooting of this hardware and software is not a simple task. For that we require technical support single-handedly. Or even I'm working on this content development and this program for last 2 years. Even I am unable to troubleshoot many technical problems. So for that we need a dedicated technical support to maintain or monitor the equipment. These are the challenging part. And come to that classroom integration, we need a very detailed training. Likewise, you are here in a online mode, we need to have a face-to-face training, and time to time we need to update our VR content or AR content also. Am I answered all the question?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I hope in future this technology will reach the district, zonal, and block level, and gradually to the hamlets in future. So, because this
Yes,
is
sir.
emerging now.
Yes, sir. So we
Thank
are
you.
NCRT now. We are developing the VR content. We have developed so many virtual, more than 300 plus. We have a virtual lab content you can access through Diksha. That Nidhi is going to explain you all this thing. And regarding AR, very soon that NCRT will launch this AR app where you can more than 300 plus content mapped in that AR app. You can use that one in your teaching learning process.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. With this, I would like to thank you once again, ma'am, for this insightful session, and especially the way you introduced us to the immersive.
So although I had planned to discuss a bit about virtual labs, but as we can see, we are short of time. We are not left with time at all, and I need to demonstrate that where actually virtual labs exist, and you can use them in your classroom even if you do not have any devices, special devices. But if you have smart devices, then also you can use virtual labs at least. So ma'am has already introduced you with the terms VR, XR, MR, virtual labs, everything. So to save time, I'm directly jumping onto the website. So as you know that there is a portal that is Diksha portal. So you have to write Diksha on any browser. So here, or I should take you how you have to go to Diksha. So just give me a second. I have opened a new window. Here you have to write Diksha. Is the window visible to all of you?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. So you have to write Diksha, and it has automatically taken the URL that is diksha.gov.in. So you can see that this is the portal. When we scroll down here, we can see there are focus areas of Diksha. Where,
Sorry to interrupt you, Nidhi. That Diksha page hasn't come yet.
Okay, just a second. I'm resharing. Just give me a minute. Okay, is it visible now?
Yes.
Okay, so what I did, I simply had opened a new window. I had typed Diksha, and it is, or I have searched Diksha. So here you can see that the first option appeared is of diksha.gov.in. You have to click on Diksha portal. Then we have to navigate further. We have to scroll down, and here you can see that there are focus areas of Diksha. So, like one of the participants was asking that is there any virtual lab in India? So yes, it is there, and they are available for free. So here you can see that virtual labs is there. I have to click on this. It has taken me to the landing page of the virtual labs. When we scroll down, you can see that the content from class 6 to class 12 are available. We can click on explore icon of any of the class for whatever the subject or for whatever class you want to explore experiments or activities. You can click on the icon. Then you have to click on English medium. Then you have to click on the subject. So then this page appears. So if you are visiting Diksha portal for the very first time, you have to register yourself. Here you can see that register here option is there. You have to click on register here and enter your basic information, your name, email address, password, and you will register yourself like I have already done. So I will write my email address here. So once you have registered yourself, you can directly write your email address and password, and you will log in. You can see that you have logged in inside the virtual labs. Here you can see that all the experiments which are there in the NCERT lab manual, they are listed here. You can click on any of the experiment and you will find that what all resources are there. So I have already selected some of them. Just give me a second. Just to save time, I'm directly opening that page. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Yes. Okay. So is it visible?
Yes, science activity page is visible.
Okay. So science activity class 8 liquid pressure. So I have selected some of the experiments to demonstrate. So I'm directly taking you to the experiment. As I have just shown you that there are multiple, all the experiments are listed here as per the NCERT lab manual. So here I have clicked on one of the experiments, that is factors affecting liquid pressure. So the first option we have with us is experiment PDF. So you have to click on the experiment PDF, and when you click on it, you will see that the PDF which is there, the experiment which is there as a hard copy with you, its soft copy is attached here. So sometimes we require the digital copy, and for that we have attached it here. Now let's go to the next resource, which is under explanation resources. So if I close all the drop downs, here you can see that when I clicked on one of the experiments, these 4 drop downs appeared. So we have to click on each drop down to see what all resources are there. So I have clicked on the explanation resource, then on theory, and here you can see that the background information related to that experiment is given. Then procedure, all the steps which are required for that experiment, all the steps are there in the procedure tab. Then when we go to video, so you can see, so they are showing how that experiment can be performed. In the same way, animation also shows the same thing. Then there are resources, that from where the information was taken to create all these resources, that is given here. Now, I hope I am not going too fast. Only to save time, I am quickly explaining this. I hope I am understandable. Am I? Any one of you please confirm. Are you understanding what's going on? Is there any message in the chat box? Because I have shared the screen, the chat box is not visible to me right now.
Participants are okay. You can proceed, Ms. Nidhi.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so let's go to the learning resources. Under learning resource, we have simulation, the most important part. So what is simulation? What is its purpose? Simulation gives you the opportunity to perform the experiment without requiring the apparatus or chemicals. You are not required to buy any of these things. You do not require a dedicated place, and still you can perform this experiment while sitting at home or in the school or wherever you are. So here you can see that different operators are shown, and if I full screen, okay, so I'll zoom in a bit. So now you can see that there is a help icon. So when you click on the help icon, it shows you what all steps you are supposed to perform one by one. So it is telling me that first of all, I have to select the selection. I have to select the position of the hole in the bottle. We are talking about liquid pressure. In which case pressure will be high or low, and why that is so. So here you can see there are 3 bottles, and we have to select the position of the hole in the bottle. So I have selected the top position of hole in the first bottle, then middle position. You can see the black spot in the bottom position. So these black spots are showing position of the hole. Then again, you can click on help. It shows that you have to drag the sellotape. So I have dragged the sellotape towards each bottle. Why? So as to ensure that all the holes are closed. Now I'll directly perform the steps as I have already told you the purpose of the help icon. So you can see what are we doing? We are filling the bottles with the beakers. With the bottles. Okay. So now the bottles are ready. All of you can think of in which case the water will be coming out with highest pressure. We can simply tell to students that the liquid pressure is highest when the larger quantity of liquid is above the hole. I can say this, but are they understanding what I'm saying? Just by telling, will they understand, or should we show that to them? So the answer is we should show to them that what we are trying to explain. So I am trying to explain, the more the quantity of water above the hole, the more will be the pressure of the water which will be coming out of the hole. So I have removed the sellotape. You can see that here the water quantity is less above the hole. That's why the water pressure, the liquid pressure is less. Here the quantity is more. That's why the pressure is higher. And here the water is going the farthest because a lot of water is above the hole. And this is how we are trying to explain the concept of liquid pressure. So the purpose of virtual labs is not only to give opportunity to students to perform the experiment, but also to understand the concept. So if we are in the theory class and we are trying to explain a concept, that is liquid pressure, and we are simply writing it or we are simply drawing it, we may not attract children that much, or many of them may not understand what we are trying to say. But if we demonstrate this simulation, then they will be able to understand and they will start thinking that where else I can relate this concept. Like you can tell them to think about, like in the morning when you have just filled your tank with water. So at that time, when you open the tap, the water pressure is higher because in the morning we have filled the tank completely with water. But till the evening, we have used a lot of water. And when we open the tap in the evening, the quantity of water above that exit of the tank, that water level has reduced. That's why the pressure has also reduced. So they can also try it at their homes and they can try to relate the concept which they have studied in the class. They'll try to relate it with the things which are going on at home. Although it's 1-5, but I want to quickly show you 1 or 2 experiments. So I'll directly take you to this one. So this is the law of conservation of mass in a chemical reaction. So all of us have studied this law, that the total mass of reactants remain the same even after the chemical reaction has occurred and they have converted into a product. So when chemical reaction occurs, for the reaction to take place, we have reactants. Then they react with each other, they combine, and then during the reaction and after the reaction, we get products. But the question arises, is the mass of reactant, does it remain the same or it changes when the chemical reaction occurs? So according to this law, the mass of reactants and products is same. So we can get to know this by performing this very simple experiment. Here we are showing this is one of the reactants, sodium sulfate. Another reactant is barium chloride. I'll quickly zoom in. So it is very easy to perform experiment by virtual labs. So when I have just kept my cursor on this measuring cylinder, it is showing me the direction. So I have to click on this measuring cylinder. What have I done? I have added one of the reactant. Now I have to, you can see that another pop-up has appeared. So I have to click on the other reactant. We have poured it in a tube. Now I have to tie this tube with a thread and I have to click on the next step. And you can see that here also in another corner, the instructions are appearing. So we can read from here also, or we can read from the pop-up. So I have to click on this tube. Now we can find out its weight. So all of you, please note down what's the weight. 150.2137. Have you all noticed that the weight, the mass of the reactants is 150.2137 grams. Now, till now, the reactants are separate. They have not mixed with each other. Now we are going to mix them. So you can see that the reactant from the tube has spilled into the beaker. The time is passing by, the reaction is happening, and when we click on this information icon or instant icon, it is telling us sodium sulfate solution reacts with barium chloride solution to form a white precipitate of barium sulfate and an aqueous solution of sodium chloride. So they are telling that which reaction has occurred. But now we need to know whether the mass has changed or not. So I'm clicking on this and we are measuring the mass. And now I want to know in the chat box, if you noticed if you noticed the mass of reactants, has the mass changed after the chemical reaction? Yes, Pavanji, correct. Correct. Yes, correct. That's great. So, was it really difficult to understand this? If I would have simply said, if I would have simply stated that this is the law of conservation of mass, it would have happened that you would have forgotten the law. But because you have performed this simulation, now will you remember this law, at least for a very long time? You can answer me in the chat box. Will you remember this law for a longer duration after performing the simulation on the virtual labs? Yes. Yes, definitely. That is what we expect, and that is what happens with everyone. And that is the purpose, that you get the chance to perform the experiment, and along with that, you remember the concept, you understand the concept, you remember the concept. And did you require to do any effort to remember this concept? Have you done any effort as such? Have you felt the load? The term cognitive load is in trend. So have you felt the cognitive load in understanding the concept of liquid pressure and the law of conservation of mass? Yes, that's true. Thank you so much for giving a response in the chat box. And yes, just by observing, we were able to understand these two concepts, and we will remember them for a very long time. Yes, there are examples from social science, from languages, from biology also, from mathematics also, but only because we are short of time, I will not be able to show you more simulations. But as I have already told you that how we can, as I've already told you how we can reach virtual labs, what are the steps, how you can register yourself, how you can log in yourself. So by that way, you can perform the all the simulations related to social science, mathematics, languages. So that's all from my side right now. We will meet you again in another session.
Thank you so much, Ms. Nidhi Adlakha, for this engaging hands-on